I would next like to invite to the podium Jay DiLorenzo, President of the Preservation League of New York State, our statewide preservation advocacy not-for-profit and a key partner to the State Preservation Office. Also to invite project team members, the team from Hudson River Housing, George Segrist from the Segrist Construction Company, and the architectural team at Coppola Associates. Please join us. Thank you.
Well, thank you, and welcome everyone. I hope you can hear me. So, the factory building at 8 North Cherry Street has long stood as a beacon of industry in the city of Poughkeepsie, serving as the location for several notable manufacturing enterprises during its lifetime. Built in 1874 and expanded in 1887, the building housed a variety of manufacturing operations throughout its existence. This included a leather goods company, a clothing manufacturer, a cooperage, and a world-renowned underwear maker, the Poughkeepsie Queen Under Muslins Company. And you can see their sign right there. So Poughkeepsie Queen moved into the building around 1902, and it manufactured women's and children's undergarments. By 1906, it employed about 175 people here and produced over 60,000 garments annually. Now, the company had an office in New York City's Garment District, and the products produced in this facility here in Poughkeepsie were shipped throughout the nation and as far away as Australia. So I guess you could say that their underwear went down under. Or not. It gets better. In 1910, Poughkeepsie Queen received the highest award for its product at the annual Galveston Cotton Carnival and Exposition in Texas. So they were very highly regarded for their undergarments. As an integral piece of Poughkeepsie's late 19th and early 20th century industrial history, the factory at 8 North Cherry Street, now known as the Poughkeepsie Underwear Factory, was added to the state and national registers of historic places in 1982. However, by the late 20th century, the 22,000 square foot factory had fallen into disrepair and was in desperate need of rehabilitation and of reuse. And now, through the leadership of Hudson River Housing Incorporated, the former factory has been completely transformed into a community hub with a mix of commercial, housing, and community space that is enriching the neighborhood while strengthening the local economy. Now, the restored and revitalized Poughkeepsie Underwear Factory contains 15 studio and one-bedroom work-live apartments, the Poughkeepsie Open Kitchen, which is a shared-use commercial kitchen for rent to small food entrepreneurs, a social enterprise called the Coffee House and Eatery, which also serves as a community commons, a place for people to meet, to work, to relax, to hold meetings, to have events. It also has a job training program connecting long-term unemployed and formerly homeless individuals for training opportunities in the culinary industry. It has a 5,000 square foot space for the arts. It includes artist studios, workshops, arts education and event space, and it even has a community park and a rain garden. Now, like many historic preservation projects, the Poughkeepsie Underwear Factory required a layering of financing, of funding, of incentives, and tax credits to succeed. This included the Federal Preservation Tax Credit Program, which we've heard about today, and is threatened with elimination in Washington. It also includes the New York State Preservation Tax Credits, Empire State Development Funds, and Office of Community Renewal Urban Initiatives Grant, Dutchess County Home Funds, and private funding, all contributing to the nearly $7 million adaptive reuse project. So taken as a whole, when you look at the project in its entirety, the Poughkeepsie Underwear Factory aligns the many facets of Hudson River Housing's work, providing affordable housing, which is very important to them, training and employment opportunities, and accessible community spaces that bring everyone together in the community. So today, we're proud to recognize the vision and the hard work of all those responsible for the building's rebirth, and that includes Hudson River Housing Incorporated, Coppola Associates, Segrist Construction, and of course our dedicated state funders. So let's give them a round of applause.
Thank you so much. I'm Krista Hines, Executive Director of Hudson River Housing, and we are so thrilled to be receiving this award today. Hudson River Housing has been creating pathways out of homelessness and providing opportunities for people and places to thrive and prosper for over 35 years. The Poughkeepsie Underwear Factory symbolizes a real unification of all our core values of affordable and supportive housing, community and economic development, neighborhood revitalization, and historic preservation. When we acquired the Poughkeepsie Underwear Factory, we knew that we held a very important piece of Poughkeepsie's history, and we knew we had to dedicate a great amount of resources and energy to preserve that history. It's almost always easier to just demolish a building and start over. But Hudson River Housing's 35-year history doesn't reflect projects that were easy or without challenges. Our first option and our best option is always to preserve what is there. We are grateful to our partners that share that same vision and have allowed us to successfully restore many City of Poughkeepsie properties back to their original splendor and productive use. It has been a special privilege for us to give back to the City of Poughkeepsie and to our community such a beautiful historic treasure, and to also be able to create much-needed affordable housing and economic opportunity for such an important neighborhood in our city has been a goal of ours for many years. There's a whole team of remarkable people whose dedication to this project made it a reality, and many of them are here today. I'd like to specifically acknowledge our former Executive Director, Ed Murphy, for his vision and foresight to see what this project could truly become. Mary Ling, who worked so hard on the planning, the budgets, the funding to bring all of the many complicated pieces together. Elizabeth Salaya for her steadfast commitment to the Middle Main neighborhood, of which now the Poughkeepsie Underwear Factory is a magnificent anchor and a buzzing community hub. It was through our Middle Main initiative, which Elizabeth spearheaded, that the uses of this building were determined: food, art, and housing. The neighborhood wanted and needed a community hub where people could live, work, gather, and create. And it brings us such pride to know that we together, that is what we have accomplished as a community. We're grateful to the New York State Historic Preservation Office, particularly Julian Adams, who met with our design team early and often to help ensure that we had a successful tax credit application. Special thanks to our design team, Coppola Associates, who brought AJ on as our lead architect and Carolyn as historic preservationist. George Segrist and Segrist Construction, who delivered an exceptional finished product and whose craftsmanship repurposed many original elements of the building into the finished design. Very special thanks to TD Bank, our historic tax credit investor, New York State Office of Parks, Environmental Protection Funding, and our 11 other state, county, city, and private partners whose significant financial investments made this project possible. So on behalf of our board of directors, our staff, and those we serve, we sincerely thank the Office of Parks, Commissioner Harvey, and the selection committee for this wonderful honor. Thank you so much.